Hi guys, welcome to TJP. Smriti this side. So continuing the Topper Talk series, today on board we have Hrishikesh with us. Hrishikesh is a very great friend of mine and is also associated with TJP. So let's just first hear, let's just know about Hrishikesh in a much better way. So Hrishikesh, can you please give a brief introduction about you?
Sure. Thank you, Smriti. Hi, everyone. I'm Hrishikesh Ashtaputre. I hail from Sambhajinagar, Maharashtra, and I'm currently enrolled in the Bachelor's of Management Studies course, which is BMS at St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. Yeah, and I'm also, as Smriti said, I'm associated with the journey phase, and it's been a lovely ride so far. So let's just discuss everything that's to do with Xavier's and other colleges in this video.
So we are already close to the end of the first year. How's your experience in St. Xavier's in Mumbai?
Yeah, so far it's been brilliant, I'd say, because the students are extremely competitive. The environment that they create is like way above par, and I think that has helped me grow into a completely different person than I was just 8 to 9 months ago when I stepped into the Xavier's campus, which again is a very brilliant place. We see it in different movies, and um, I personally never thought I'd actually walk into the campus one day and I'd become so used to it that I'd just get bored of it after a point. But it's been surreal, and I'm not exaggerating this, but the transition from coming from a relatively smaller town than Mumbai to coming into Mumbai, it's changed me as a person, which I think is really important. I think it's a transformative experience for anyone who joins a different college in a bigger city. So yeah, that's what Xavier's has meant to me so far.
So, like, personality wise, right?
Yeah, that's right. Because you see, the kind of people you're exposed to, and the fact that they're from really diverse backgrounds. Not everyone is as smart as you are. Maybe they're more smart. Maybe they're smarter than you. There are students from all walks of life, all different economic backgrounds. Students who are really good at sports, really good at extracurricular activities. And I think at St. Xavier's, it's really the intermingling of various disciplines, since they offer everything, right from science to arts to brilliant courses such as Bachelor of Management Studies and Bachelors of Accounting and Finance, which they've recently introduced. So there's this umbrella of really different and varying courses, which offers you a plethora of opportunities to explore in the form of fests and really in the form of meeting new people, which I think is the backbone of a course like BMS, where you come to get exposure and build an entrepreneurial mindset. I think networking is what Xavier's really gives you. Networking with quality individuals. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So, before coming to CUET, what entrances did you give, like after right after your class 12?
Right. So after class 12th, I appeared for multiple entrances, as I think will be the case with most people watching this video. And obviously, I aimed high. It was my dream to go to Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies,
High five.
study their Bachelor's of Management Studies course. And I think that's the dream of almost every CUET aspirant. Um, but where I come from, that's not the environment that is followed, because students, since I come from Maharashtra, as I said, a relatively smaller town, um, Mumbai is the center of the big colleges near my native town. So most students target Mumbai colleges, and there's one or two ambitious ones that actually end up going to, let's say, Delhi or Indore or Rohtak. Yeah, and I was one of them. I was one of the ambitious ones. I did not end up converting all of them. But yeah, I've always dreamt big, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. So the entrances I gave were IIM Rohtak, and obviously I also applied to NMIMS, and I did get in the third or fourth attempt. More on that later, if you want me to, I can elaborate on that as well. Obviously, Xavier's. I prepared for IIM Indore, but unfortunately, the exams clashed. So I think it was the 2nd of April, or I'm not quite sure.
Like
Uh,
2nd of July, June.
July, yeah. It's really messed up in my head right now, but yeah. So that was it, and it was I think on the 30th of the previous month, and I received a mail from St. Xavier's saying that your entrance has been scheduled on this day. And it was practically impossible for me to give both Xavier's as well as IIM Indore on the same day. Although both of them were scheduled in Pune, which is the closest big town or the center town to my native town. But it was practically impossible for me to give both the exams because I think IIM Indore was overlapping St. Xavier's. So I had a call to make, and I think I made a realistic call at that point of time. I did not know that St. Xavier's would be kind enough to conduct an entrance just 7 days later. But yeah, so they reconducted an entrance just after 7 days. And I did not, I wasn't aware of that at that point of time. I did send a mail, but I did not receive a response. So eventually I had to make a call, and I chose to go for St. Xavier's College entrance exam.
There were
So that's
three
one thing.
entrances that were clashing, I guess. Also, Symbiosis Pune. Did you appear for Symbiosis?
Symbiosis was there that day, but I think the entrance exams gods were kind enough to me to place Symbiosis a day later. Yeah, and to your previous question, I also appeared for the CUET, uh, mostly based on my board's preparation. More on that later.
Okay. And I'm assuming you had a commerce background.
Yeah, I did have a commerce background, so CBSE commerce with maths. I chose applied maths well in class 11th, which later backfired when it came to the CUET.
So, coming to the next question, how did you start preparing? Like, was it after boards, or were you preparing like with boards? How did you manage
Yeah.
it? So, yeah, that's the question.
Well, when I was in 12th, the only thing on my mind was boards. So even if I did not study, it was still on my mind. But yeah, the majority or the larger part of my preparation for all entrances happened after the boards. As you know, it was a dicey year. We were probably the last COVID batch or the second last COVID batch. But so we had our 12th exams split into two, and it was dicey for me to actually cope with that, and for most of the students in my batch. But that also meant that I had more time due to the reduced portion for the second term board exams to actually prepare for these entrances. So most of my preparation happened after my boards. But yeah, I had also enrolled into an online coaching class back then. So I did prepare in class 12 before my boards. But yeah, the intensive part of my preparation happened after my boards.
And coming to one of the most important question of this video, how did you get to know about CUET first of all? So
Okay.
let's move on to CUET now. How did you get to know about CUET? When did you get to know about CUET? Is the question.
So it was a lazy 12th standard evening. I was just casually sitting on my sofa. And, I always had this thing in my mind that eventually I wanted to go to Delhi, in the University of Delhi, one of their premier colleges, be it SRCC, be it Hindu, St. Stephen's. especially because my school's principal, Mr. Ranjit Das, he is an alum of St. Stephen's College. And uh, yeah, so it was kind of a prestige thing to me because very few students from our school actually end up going to the University of Delhi. So I wanted to be there, but after my first term of board exams, I was almost sure that I'd never make it. So I had all those calculations going on in my mind that this is how much I'd have to score to get 99, 98. So it was a very bizarre phase of my class 12. But when the CUET notification released, so I was in this different zone at that time. I did not worry about what was happening in my school, my academics. I was thinking in a very I'd say thinking about the future, about what would happen after my class 12. And this is something I would sincerely advise all of my viewers not to do. Just stay in the present, focus on your preparation right now. So that's one takeaway from my class 12th examination. And yeah, coming back to the topic, yeah, so that's how I got to know that the notification was released. I confirmed it with one of my professors at my college, and yeah, he was like, yeah, this sounds legit, and we might have to be ready for something like this. I was like, yeah, so maybe there's still a chance. And it was an opportunity in disguise. Although most students were very nobody had a concrete idea what CUET was, what the syllabus be, what would the difficulty level be, what would the cutoffs be. Nobody had a concrete idea on how CUET was going to change things, whether it was going to change things at all. But yeah, so that's how I got to know.
Okay. And which college did you get in CUET allotment? Like which college were you allotted?
Yeah, so my CUET happened in two phases, and those were, I think, the 2 days were, I think, 15 to 20 days apart. And at first, I was sure that I'd get. So I had economics, business studies, and oh no, I think that's it. Yeah, I had economics and business studies in one on Monday. I was sure that I'd get for 400 on 400, 200 and 200, because I had really prepped hard for both the subjects, even for my boards. And later on, from learning from my mistakes in the board exams, I ensure that I did not leave any gaping holes in my preparation as far as economics and BST are concerned. So, after this, knowing that confidence, that sense of confidence, that I would get 400 and 400, I prepared hard for the second phase as well, which had general test, English, and mathematics. So yeah, I can understand if a few of our viewers are confused that why this guy not take accountancy. By this time, I was sure that if there was something I'd do at the University of Delhi, it would not be BCom honors. This is partly because I saw myself more in a managerial position in the future, and I did not think BCom honors would actually facilitate that kind of a career for me. So BMS or a BBA basically a BMS at Shahid Sukhdev would was the only thing that I was looking at as far as the University of Delhi is concerned. And economics, BST, maths, and English satisfied the criteria for BA Eco as well, which is another degree that I was considering. So yeah, so the second phase happened. It had general test, English and mathematics, and most of it went well. I wish I could say that it went as good as the first one, but I think I lost marks in the standard maths section of mathematics. I think mathematics was the differentiating part as far as courses such as maths honors, stats honors, and eco honors were concerned.
EBS, right?
As for yeah, and yeah, BB as well. Maths was where students faltered because general test was relatively very easy.
Yeah.
All
As well
students
as
lost
English.
marks. Yeah, English was a cakewalk. So in English and general tests were relatively very easy. So maths was what differentiated those CBS and SRCC students from the rest of us,
Right.
which is fair enough. Yeah, so after the second exam, I had an idea that maybe this would not work out as we thought it would, which is fine. So, yeah. And coming to your question, yeah, I think a month or two passed by. Oh, no, month or two, I don't know, maybe a month or two, but they definitely felt like years. Uh,
Exactly. More
passed
than
by
that.
until definitely more than that. Uh, I'm sorry, the calendars all messed up in my mind. So yeah, that happened, and the CUET results were out, and I was, constantly checking the Journey Phase Telegram community, what students are
Yes.
saying, and yeah, and what's happening. There's like people, a lot of other YouTubers coming up with. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have
Uh,
named them, but coming up with these bizarre updates. So yeah, that's happening, and eventually the selection process happens. The preference list gets updated, and one fine day I'm just checking, and I'm like, okay, let's see what we've gotten right. The sites crashed a few times. It gets loads finally. Like, yeah, cool. Hindu college, maths honors. Yeah, it may be maths honors, but yeah, it was Hindu college, and I had a decision to make. I had a few seniors from my school who actually pursued maths and stats honors from the University of Delhi. One of them precisely from Hindu college. And when I saw Hindu college, actually it clouded my judgment because it's the best, and there's
Yes,
no
exactly.
second thoughts about it. And I'm sure all the viewers will agree. And Smriti, you're from the University of Delhi itself, so I'm sure you have a
Everybody
much
dreams about getting into Hindu. Like everybody
yeah,
does. So again,
definitely.
moving on to the most highlighted question, the most important question of this entire video. Why did you leave Hindu for St. Xavier's Mumbai?
Right. So, when we discuss colleges and course preferences, it's again a very personal outlook, how you perceive things. And I think it was a very mature decision for me to make because my parents were okay with sending me to Delhi, in spite of it being quite far away from my native town in Maharashtra. They were fine with sending me to Mumbai. The only concern was that what kind of scope I would have after pursuing an honors degree in mathematics compared to pursuing one at St. Xavier's College, or pursuing a BMS at St. Xavier's College to be precise. So I just like to highlight the similarities between the two colleges. I think the University of Delhi epitomizes fest culture in all of India, and it's the fest culture, especially for these big name colleges, as well as the interdisciplinary um, interactions that and the exposure that you receive. In spite of being from any course, you have correct me if I'm wrong, but you have the freedom to actually go ahead and m- do things and participate in activities if you're in these colleges. And that's the same at St. Xavier's. There's a variety of courses, and there's no barrier, even when it comes to placements and big companies big recruiters come in for hiring. There's no barrier for degree for students to apply. So I think that's one similarity. And obviously, DU is the benchmark, and I think St. Xavier's Mumbai is walking on the same path. There may be a few differences as well, such as attendance, and I think St. Xavier's
Definitely
is much
attendance.
definitely attendance. Yeah, St. Xavier's is much more inclined towards academics as well. So there are a few uh, dissimilarities, but yeah, I had a choice to make, and I chose BMS for two reasons. I think that number one was managerial studies. This is what I wanted to pursue. I still see myself going into a consulting position 3 years down the line, and something like entrepreneurship something like marketing management, although I knew very little about it back then, excited me much more than algebra and numbers, to be very blunt. Yeah, and it's the concept of opportunity cost coming into play. Because when people hear that you're from the University of Delhi, especially you're from Hindu college, it's really
One
a
of the
wow.
best colleges of Delhi University.
Yeah. So that opportunity cost concept came into play. And I thought going into St. Xavier's would be the right decision to make, considering that I operated much better in an environment where the routine was set for me, where I knew what to do, than in an environment where I had a lot of freedom to do my own stuff. So I think that's a personal outlook, but there was also the course factor that appealed to me much more than the college factor. So yeah.
Do you regret your decision even like a bit of leaving
Uh,
Hindu?
not really. I like to live in the present, and currently I love where I'm going. I think St. Xavier's exposed me in a variety of ways. It exposes you from, you just can't, for a person like me especially, I just can't stand being second best. And to be honest, I've been second best for the best of this year. So I think it's the old saying, that if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're probably in the wrong room.
Yes.
So I think I'm in the right room right now. And yeah, I don't know what things would have been if I was in the University of Delhi enrolled in one of their prestigious colleges. But maybe they would have been better than this. But I don't know. The first year has been really good, and I'm really looking forward to the next 2 years.
Okay. So coming to the next question again, related to the preparation stuff. Did you give mocks? Do you think that mocks were somehow helpful? Like
Oh
wherein the
yeah,
exams?
yeah. So I think mocks help you in two ways. Number one, they get your exam ready. And to be honest, when you just read the preparatory material, it could be your NCRT, it could be notes you are referring to, you gain an understanding of the subject. You gain an understanding of how concepts can be applied in what concepts are, right? So I think that's necessary for any exam, especially for your boards. I think that's even more crucial. But when it comes to exams based on MCQs, being exam ready is really important. So you read a concept, when you give mocks, you understand how that concept can be asked to you in an examination. So that's one thing. And again, it helps you build that mindset of being in an exam setting and answering multiple questions in one go, especially for CUET when you're sitting there at length for 3 to 4 hours giving examinations in that kind of pressure. You're seeing people walk around, you're seeing people get frustrated, you're seeing people do really well, they're into their own computers, someone's very prepared. You have to be focused for a long duration, and I think mocks really help in that regard. And I did at that time. I think there was some scarcity of online mocks, but that
Exactly.
has changed over the last year. So at that time, I had to rely on mocks in my textbooks and reference books provided on whatever came on all these communities, especially the journey phase, which really helped me affiliate with the journey phase as a company. I think these resources are very crucial. So you gain number one, you gain exposure to multiple questions. Number two, you get to be exam ready. And I think these two things, being thoroughly prepared and having an exam ready mindset, are what set you apart from a huge competition where margins are very fine. 99, so the cutoffs were calculated in percentiles up to the eighth decimal. That's insane, right? So that's like G level or probably more competition. So with such fine margins, you're with even with 1 mark, you're like way ahead of someone who's a fellow aspirant. Yeah.
When a mark can get someone into an SRC, into a SRCC or like a college below, right? So it makes a difference. It does make a difference, and it's very important to appear
Uh,
for mocks online, I would say, and not prefer books at this point, because sitting in one go in front of a screen and then even facing a lot of technical glitches during the exam and losing your patience during the exam. Taking that mindset during the exam is very, very important. Uh, so yeah. Rishikesh, what tips do you want to give to your juniors who will be appearing for CUET in 2023?
I think for CUET, focus on your weaknesses right now. I know you've worked on your strengths for your board examinations, and you are already thorough with the concepts that you learned. So be confident about your board's preparation. That's very important. I know people tend to think that, oh, I might have forgotten this, but really it's there in the back of your mind. So as far as your strong subjects are concerned, try to solve more questions for those subjects, for those topics, and where you think you might fall short, or where you think you're relatively weaker. It may be a subject, it may be a particular topic, could be a particular concept or a type of questions. So read that concept thoroughly. Make sure you have a very bright understanding of that. So that's one thing. That's theoretical understanding, but also give mocks. I think, as Smriti said, it's very important to crack. It's very important to build that resilience against pressure, and not don't get ahead of yourselves right now. Right now, whatever time you have left, I think it's 15 to 20 days until you appear for CUET, right? So don't think about your college life. Right now, it's just you and your exams and your preparation. So don't worry about any college, be it Hindu, be it St. Xavier's, be it SRCC. It may be the college of your dreams. It may be the placement or the package of your dreams. But to be honest, a lot of hard work lies here on the other side, which I realized after coming to one of the premier BMS or or managerial institutions in the country. There's a lot of hard work on the other side as well before you get that double digit placement or that marquee internship package. So right now, focus on your preparation, what is in front of you, and it will all pay off. So be confident, give a lot of mocks, focus on building confidence with the examination. Build that familiarity that when you walk into the exam hall, it's like you're just walking into your bedroom to sit on your study table and give another mock, right? So that's how comfortable you should be by the end of 20 days. Try to gain that level of perfection. Do not lose confidence. Do not lose hope. Do not think about colleges. Think only about what the preparation material is, and focus on your weaknesses. So, and also, yeah, another thing, don't feel shy to reach out for help. And this help could be in the form of just pure emotional guidance from your parents or seniors or a close friend, or really technical help from a senior that you might have, a friend who's good at certain subjects. Just don't feel shy, because 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, this isn't going to matter. All
Exactly. You
that
can
is going
even
to
reach
matter.
out to us.
Yeah, obviously, coming to that, I will come to that. But it's not going to matter later on how ignorant you were or how forgetful you were. It's all that's going to matter is how much of effort you put into it, and do not. And it's only good to not have any regrets at the end of the day. So we have our own free mentorship sessions. You can always reach out to us. We've got a vast student base studying at the best colleges in the country. Smriti is
Exactly.
enrolled in the University of Delhi. I'm enrolled at at St. Xavier's College. Just feel free to approach to us. It could be your technical doubts with related to your studies, just only question and doubts, or maybe with your preparation and college guidance in the future, we're there for that. We're there even after you enroll into your college. We'll still be your bhaiyas and didis. So don't feel afraid or shy to ask for help. Yeah.
It was great talking to you, Rishikesh. Rishikesh is, I know him personally, holds an abundance of knowledge, and I'm very sure the viewers would be like really happy, and as well, there was a lot of takeaway from the video. It was great talking to you, Rishikesh. I hope you enjoyed
Likewise,
the
Smriti.
video throughout. So thank you, Rishikesh, for being with us today.
Thank you, Smriti, for having me here. Really good talking to you, and all the best to all aspirants watching and the ones who are not.
All the best, guys.